Don't you know my plump to my kicks, ho? Night City, though. You know I'm hot bike, baby. She don't got no cuss though. In the love of clubbing, baby. That's just how it goes, though. I don't need a sofa. Somebody I used to know. Video game half-mask. She just want the black flag. I just gotta sweat her. That just be the weather. Skinny lover, baby. She a blondie. That's just new slang for them tightrope mommies. Yeah, that's right. Don't mess it up. That's the move, girl. Don't mess it up. That's my groove, girl. The less I know, the better. Baby girl, I rip high. When I start sleeping on the floor, when I get hot. 10,000 opioids. 10,000 in a row. What, baby, what you want? Money and the chemicals. Let your glove.
Hello, thank you guys for joining me again. This is Willy P, Willy P TV on Twitch, Willy P 420 on TikTok, Willy P 417 here on YouTube. But I appreciate you guys for tuning in another time. Um, let's go ahead and get right into this one. I think I'm gonna watch this video today. It's called Epstein
AI tore up
Survivor.
the rule book.
Well,
Imagine your next
AI didn't tear up nothing. I'm just kidding. It probably did.
Plea for justice.
But hold on here. Yeah, Epstein Survivor. We're getting stronger, making progress with latest release of Epstein emails. Well, look at that, right? So here we go. Let's watch this. Okay.
Accountability and truth from Epstein survivors ahead of the House vote next week to release the convicted sex offenders' case files. In a letter to members of Congress, they write, as you gather with your family this season, remember that your primary duty is to your constituents. Look into the eyes of your children, your sisters, your mothers, and your aunts. Imagine if they had been preyed upon. Joining me now, one of the signatories to that letter.
You know, the crazy part is that a lot of people's mothers, aunts, cousins, sisters do get preyed upon by either other family members or people that are just around in life. Like sometimes it'll be in the high school setting, sometimes it'll be at the mall, sometimes it's online. Like there's always predators everywhere you go in life. Although, don't get me wrong, Epstein and them were a special type of depraved. Like a pedophile is a pedophile and needs to be a dead pedophile. But
Lisa Phillips, she says Jeffrey Epstein sexually abused her when she was 21 while helping her modeling career. She is now a fierce women's rights advocate and host of the podcast from now on, examining survival and recovery after sexual assault. I'm glad to talk with you.
So I think this chick right here is an Epstein survivor. So let's hear what
Lisa.
Let's hear what they have to say.
The first question is, why did you send that letter to lawmakers, and what do you expect will come from it?
Well, I think the main reason is because the hoax, the government shutdown, not swearing in people who support survivors is forcing more survivors to come forward. And as we
That's what I was wondering, is if like eventually there might be like almost like a situation where like a person was to come out against either like, you know, some of the higher names that are on the list, because I know they had like Prince Andrew and then like Epstein but and stuff like that. But
rally together, we are getting stronger and we're gaining a greater understanding of what's really going on. Just the tip of the iceberg, but we're still learning more. And as we learn more,
so I don't know if no, she is an Epstein survivor. It says it right there. All right, I was just making sure.
We want to keep fighting harder. So we're really putting that pressure on now.
Yeah. So you think the pressure?
I think that pressure should have been on the whole time. This has happened at this point over 20 years ago. Like, I'm surprised that nothing has happened so far.
Sure will tip things in your favor to indeed have everything released? Do you expect that to happen?
No, we don't expect to have everything released. As you've seen, they're releasing a little by little, which is helping. We hope to have everything released, but we do believe it's going to take some time. But we are getting closer, as you can see.
Mm-hmm. And to that
No, they're really close right now. I'm pretty sure, but that's the thing is that the president still has to sign this. So, and if he thinks that he has any more implications than what's already in there, he's not going to want to be a part of that.
point, you make the distinction there that the House Oversight Committee has released more than 20,000 emails that the Epstein estate provided. It was done under subpoena. Much of the focus has been on the hundreds of references to President Trump, who denies knowing about the abuse. Has the information that you've been able to read and
You know, I'm pretty sure it was like 2017 when he died. And a weird thing I've always thought about is like, wasn't that like, I mean, if he had stuff that was going to bring down Trump and then he died, I mean, you look at this part of it. I mean, there is that weird part in your mind where you're like, maybe they whacked him off. Well, I know they definitely whacked him off because he knew high value names that could. He could ruin people.
study about, has it revealed anything important? And if it's yes, how has it
I kind of wish that he would have before it got as far as it did to where he died, and then now we know nothing.
done that? And what do you want to happen next?
Well, 20,000 emails is quite a bit, but we've been going through them, and from what we've seen is pretty shocking. And a lot of the names that we have mentioned in the past few years are on them. And so there's quite a bit more information as you go through those emails and than what's released in the public. I do think the public and the media focuses a little bit too much on Trump, and where that is very necessary, there still is a lot to uncover in those emails.
Yeah, there's like a bunch of people that are involved in that, not just that. After this, I could possibly look up the other half of this where it's like actually talking about the stuff that's in the email. So just hold on.
Emails that will come out shortly.
Lisa, are you feeling valid?
And I really feel bad for this girl because she should have never had to be involved in nothing like what Epstein had any of these girls involved in. And you know, you almost feel deeply apologetic towards her because it's like, it's so jacked up because you know that if they did anything to her, it was when she was a kid. So she kind of didn't have any other choice about it, you know?
Dated? You and the other survivors, obviously.
We actually are. We actually are feeling a lot more validated than we did standing on Capitol Hill a couple months ago. And we feel like we're making progress.
And you see now that the
Obviously, they're making good progress.
Department of Justice is now heeding Trump's demand to investigate Epstein's alleged ties to some prominent companies and Democrats.
I don't know. I seen something about how they're like it's almost like they're playing like a deflector game, like where like, so you're worse than this guy, but this guy's as bad as this guy. So isn't everybody bad?
And that includes former President Bill Clinton, Larry Summers, former Treasury Secretary, Reid Hoffman, also in terms of companies, JP Morgan Chase, with whom Epstein did business. Some say this is just retribution or diversion from the focus on his ties to Epstein. Is that how you see it?
No, I don't see it as retribution or diversion. I believe the focus away from him as well as on him is what we need to look at other people alongside with him.
Is there anything you can attribute, though, to Donald Trump's calling for this? I mean, he has yet to release all the files, right? He has not supported that. So can you surmise a reason for which he's, going after the Democrats and big companies?
Because he feels like Democrats are the ones who wanted it released in the first place. So now that they got these emails released, they knew that people were going to see them and want more and more. So then, and they came out a couple months ago, I think, being like, well, we already gave everything that's, available to give. But then now there's these emails. And then it's like, what other stuff do they have? Because they had like pictures of evidence where they had like DVDs like in like CD cases inside of like a chest. They had like a bunch of different computer towers. Like, I wonder what all the information is that's on those. Not just the
Well, I would
emails.
just think that he has knowledge that they also have enabled Epstein, or they also need to be held accountable.
Yeah.
So I believe there's something to it.
Do you or
Anybody who actually did something wrong should definitely be held accountable for it. Now, there is no ifs, ands, or buts about it, you know? It's like one of those things like, just, it's because that'd be like sex trafficking, not only sex trafficking, but then they were doing it with minors. So it like adds a whole nother degree of like disgusting to it, you know?
of your fellow survivors with whom you talk about these things, do you have any firsthand knowledge?
And that's what I wonder is like, has a single survivor actually pointed a finger at Trump and said, hey, that he did this to me, or hey, this happened with Trump and with Epstein there. Like, not saying that we need that, because like the emails and everything else and the pictures of them together and like the money statements they say that they have between the both of them. But there's like that weird part of you where you're like, if it like, how come they like, it's just like they should have, like, that's something that should have been known if it was actually like something that like occurred to where it was an actual crime. And then there's like so many more levels to that, you know?
About Epstein's relationships with either Donald Trump or any of those that he has named for investigation?
From what I know from the survivors, that there are many others besides Trump that they focus on.
When you say many, can you give me a ballpark number? Has anyone suggested numbers or named names to you that I'm not asking you to name, but is it 5, is it 10, is it 20, is it 100?
There's quite a few, I would say over 20, but you just mentioned a few of them. And the FBI has actually the majority of the names.
So I'd like to ask you about Ghislaine Maxwell, who's serving 20 years for her role in Epstein's sex trafficking operation. House Democrats say that her new minimum security prison guards report she is getting concierge-style treatment and is working on a request for commutation from Donald Trump. She reportedly has a puppy. Look, Trump is reportedly not considering that right.
Well, like in federal prisons, they treat them a lot better than they do than like in county. It's like, you know, I'm pretty sure everybody knows it's like it's like you definitely would rather be in regular prison. Then it's like worse than that is federal prison, but then worse than that is county, and then worse than that could be even like a jail.
Now, we heard him say that on board Air Force One, but what is your response to her rather cushy new level of incarceration?
Well, as a dog lover, puppies are emotional support. So I'm kind of furious that she has an animal to make her feel better and warm and cozy at night.
Yeah, that is jacked up. Okay, especially since like this girl is literally somebody who was victimized by them.
It doesn't feel good for
it
survivors
is wild.
for her to have preferential treatment. I'm not surprised, as we know. This is how it normally goes. But I think in this case, as the only one being responsible at this time, it should be stricter for her.
How are survivors, you and
It
those
should
with
be.
whom you speak, how are you processing the politics right now around the Epstein files, around Donald Trump, around the powerful people that have been potentially involved years after Epstein died?
Well, we're still processing all of it. And after I spoke out on Capitol Hill, there was many more women that came forward that were actually able to connect more dots with pictures and dates. And so the more we survivors get together and feel empowered and we speak out, it allows others to see us and own their stories and say, you know what, I want to help out too. And so collectively together, we're finding out a lot more information that helps everything move forward.
And we are expecting another news conference on Capitol.
And that's what I mean, it's not saying that like I mean, they have a point and stuff, but like I said, I really want to see the girl that comes out and says that it's Trump. Like Trump's the one who made me massage him. I did this with Trump. There's something sexual with Trump. Blah blah blah. You know what I'm saying? Because then that would kind of like that would kick the whole crazy or like just the narrative that it's just Epstein and some of the people that were famous and big in their circles. Because I haven't, like I said, I haven't seen one where it was like that. But
The Hill this week. Are you going to be there, Lisa?
Absolutely.
Okay, we'll be
That's
watching for
awesome.
you. Thank you for your time with us.
yeah, and I mean, I do feel so bad for this woman didn't deserve anything that happened to her. It's really messed up. It is. By the way, if you guys would, this video is on MS now. Follow, like, watch it. I just seen it, and I thought I would check out the title, but let me show you guys this. Here, 1 hour ago. Well, that's not a video. I mean, this is the video that I watched earlier today.
Build a
about it.
website you love with Wix.
And this is Wally Rashad.
For your words,
This is Wally Rashad.
So
Go like, subscribe, watch his video. I'll have all these in the description of both of their tags and everything like that. We're gonna go ahead and speed it up a little bit, try and get through it a little bit quicker. But let's watch.
this is pretty crazy. An email is going viral from where Mark Epstein is asking his brother Jeffrey Epstein if Putin has, quote, the photos of Donald Trump blowing Bubba. In the email, it does not state who Bubba was, but there's a lot of speculation that
They think
Bubba is Bill
Bubba's
Clinton, given
Bill
that's
Clinton.
Bill.
But that's the other thing about that is that like it just doesn't make any sense that like Donald Trump's been around hot women for so long. But I guess that's like a really good cover, I guess, maybe. Like be around a bunch of hot women but really be like doing like some weird bi stuff on the low.
Bill Clinton's nickname.
I don't know.
So I posted this email last night on social media after I found it, and I woke up this morning to it having over 4.5 million views now. I was pretty shocked, and I didn't realize it was going to gain
Dude, that's a crazy amount of views for a video that you posted just last night. That's really good, dude.
that much traction. I have the email
But also, it's a really, really touchy subject right now because a lot of people's stuff kind of hangs in the balance on that because so many people put their kind of name on the line when when stuff happened, how it happened,
here. I did mention it previously yesterday, so let's get into it a little bit more. We're going to just dissect it, and we're going to go through what everybody's saying on social media and what the truth is behind the email, or what we know at least. Again, this was sent from Mark Epstein to his brother Jeffrey Epstein on March 21st, 2018. And the email starts off asking, Mark Epstein is asking his brother, how are you doing? A while back, you told me you were pre-diabetic. Has anything changed since then? And here's that zoomed in there for you guys. Let me go ahead. Jeffrey Epstein responds back and says, all good, Bannon is with me. And then he responds back again, asking, ask him if Putin has the photos of Trump blowing Bubba. This is coming from Mark Epstein.
And that's where everyone is like losing their mind right now because they can't figure out who Bubba is. And I'm pretty sure the brother Mark, literally, they asked him about it and he said no, that Bill Clinton was not Bubba, but that they can't explain, that he won't explain any further than that, like who Bubba actually is. So it could be like a euphemism, or it could be like there's literally someone named Bubba that Trump blew. I guess.
To Jeffrey Epstein. Jeffrey Epstein then responds back to that saying, and I thought I had soros. That's a Yiddish word meaning I had a lot of problems, or I have problems going on. He's basically just joking here. And Mark responds back to that by saying, you and your boy Donnie can make a remake of the movie Get Hard. So again, just kind of joking around. Jeffrey Epstein responds back, you mean Donnie T, in all capital letters. Mark Epstein responds back again, and it's the end of the email, and he says, I'd rather be in Donnie T's shoes. So the question is, one, are they just having, a joking banter, a play on words by saying,
Yeah, that's what I was seeing, is that like he wasn't actually meaning what he was saying there. It's that he's like trying to joke, because I'm pretty sure that as soon as Trump found out the first time, um but then there was another email about how he basically was saying like he never did kick him out of the Mar-a-Lago. Like Epstein was basically being like, he didn't kick me out because I never was a member. But it's like all weird stuff, because it's like, that they were like friends, because obviously money transferred and stuff like that.
Ask
So
Putin if
I
he has
don't
the
know.
photos of Trump blowing Bubba. That's an odd play on words for me objectively, but of course, at the end of the day, who's to say? Now, this is what I will say, because a lot of people think that when you're questioning this, I'm basically wondering whether or not Donald Trump is gay. For the record, I don't believe he is at all. Given his history with women, it just seems very, very unlikely. Could this just be a play on banter? Absolutely, definitely. I mean, it could just be some sort of inside joke they have. Who knows? On the other hand, do we know that Jeffrey Epstein has been trafficking women to this island to get blackmail? Absolutely, at this point. So, is it much
Yeah,
of a stretch
definitely he
to say
was.
that the Messiah
Definitely he was, because he was having Ghislaine Maxwell do the thing for trying to get them to do massages and stuff. And it's like, dude, they cannot, like, I mean, they did what they did, whether Trump was involved or not or whatever.
odd or intelligence community that Jeffrey Epstein was working for would be willing to drug whoever's at the island, have them commit lewd acts while under the influence, and then take footage of that. It's one of those things where it just seems like, okay, given what we know and how much is coming out regarding the vile nature of Jeffrey Epstein and this entire situation, I really have nothing
The dude was filthy scum.
off the table at this point. That's just my honest opinion of the matter. However, Newsweek did actually reach out to Mark Epstein, so Jeffrey Epstein's brother, and they straight up asked him, who is Bubba in this email, and are you referring to Bill Clinton? Now, an email in the Jeffrey Epstein files that references U.S. President Donald Trump blowing Bubba has attracted scrutiny on social media. 20,000 pages were released yesterday on Wednesday.
Yeah, and see, this is what I'm talking about. Like, and this, like, his brother literally did not, like, he said, no, it's not Bill Clinton, but he never tells him who Bubba is.
Now, Newsweek reached out to comment, and Mark Epstein did not provide any additional detail about the identity of Bubba or the meaning of the emails. However, he did say that Bubba is not including Bill Clinton. I read that somewhere here. Some of the documents mentioned, including one of Epstein's brothers, Mark, which references photo of Trump blowing Bubba. Bubba is a nickname of former President Bill Clinton, but Mark Epstein told Newsweek that that individual was not Clinton. So Bubba was a very well-known name for Bill Clinton, well-known nickname for him. Now Newsweek is saying that now Mark Epstein is coming forward and saying, I didn't reference Bubba as Clinton, but he didn't deny the fact that they were referencing somebody. And honestly, now I'm going to start to get a little bit speculative. This is just, us having dialogue and being speculative. If the whole thing was a play on words and just banter, Mark Epstein could have just said it's banter. Maybe,
Yeah, and this is the same thought I had when I was watching like the clips, and then when I watched like this video and stuff. Like, I literally had that thought in my head where I'm like, dude, literally, like, this guy could have totally killed all the rumors and everything just by being like, no, it was just some regular old talk between me and my brother. We were just bullshitting about the whole situation that's going on. But instead, all he did was just say, no, Bubba's not Bill Clinton. But that's it.
this was back in 2018. Why is there any reason he won't just say, oh, that was banter? Why does it even matter at this point? His brother's dead, first off. So it's not like there's anything incriminating against his dead brother. If he really wanted to, help Trump out, I don't know what Mark Epstein's views are and how close he is to the Trump administration. He could just say that was just ridiculous banter and just immediately, deny any sort of deeper conspiracy.
But I don't know why Trump wouldn't want to keep that bridge with any Epsteins like that, like, especially with everything that's already happened and how far of fallout it's already been. Like, that'd be a dumb decision to keep Mark anywhere near your campaign or anything like that, especially if any of it is actually true.
With these emails, but he didn't. I think that's pretty weird. That's odd. Somebody previously mentioned this, and I showed it. Is that in the email, you see the word "the photos." Does ask him if Putin has the photos of Trump blowing Bubba instead of just saying the word "ask him if Putin has photos." By saying the word "the photos" implies that there actually were photos. Now, again, this is just us having speculation, but genuinely, like, I'm trying to think. Okay,
Yeah, like past tense, the photos, instead of ask Putin or ask him if Putin has photos of Trump blowing Bubba. No, because then that would just be like a generalization. He's saying that because he's saying, does Putin have the photos? And it makes me wonder because I'm pretty sure this was like all around the time, like when this back and forth was happening, Trump was hanging out with Putin. and basically everyone's like misinterpreting it, like Putin has some like photos on Trump or something like that on the. But I don't really. If they had something like that, like, don't you feel like a long time ago that would have got dropped? Like, for real? I don't understand. Like, if yeah, no, just.
In what sense could this just be like funny banter?
And don't get me wrong, guys. I really truly think that we should all get the files. Like, we should have already got we should have got the files like 5 years after Epstein dies, because by that time everything could have already been cleared up and the files should have already been out. They should have been redacted, all that. But instead, it's been like this long, 2018 to now, and I mean, you see how everything's been handled.
As an inside joke between brothers. Maybe Bubba, if Bubba was not a person, why didn't Mark Epstein just come forward and say Bubba is not a person? Instead, Mark Epstein states that Bubba is not Clinton. So it's like, okay, Mark Epstein, you're saying Bubba is not Clinton, but you're not saying that Bubba is not a person, and you're not saying that Bubba is some sort of inside joke and this actually was not a real event. So what are you withholding now? Because people are going to begin to question, okay, well, is this an actual real event? And is Bubba somebody else's name if it's not Clinton? Or is this all just made up fairy tale and Mark Epstein is just trying to lead everybody on and ask more questions? Who's to say? Now, on social media, however, a lot of people, of course, have different opinions on the whole matter. So let's just go ahead and share my screen here. This is my original tweet that I posted, and it got 4.4 million views now, which I was like pretty shocked, and I literally just shared exactly what I saw on social media on X now.
See, this is the cool part about this is that people who have the time are like going through the emails, because there was 20,000 documents there that got released, and as they're going through them, I'd like that, because it's like people are able to like drop stuff, and it's like game changing, because it's stuff that people have heard about, but we haven't had any actual proof or anything. But these are supposed to be like actually Jeffrey Epstein's emails, so I don't know.
Other people are saying many different things. Again,
And especially since, I mean, haven't you guys heard the stuff where they're like saying, "Oh, it's a hoax, it's a hoax," and it's like, well, I mean, this is what Trump and the the Republican side of things are saying, like, "Oh, it's Democratic hoax again, like the last time, and this and that," and it's like, but then didn't they turn around and they're the like, because they're the ones who were dropping pieces of it. The Democrats were. The Republicans turned around and dropped the 20,000 copies, I thought. And that's, in my opinion, that seems like fishy. It's like, okay, well, then you want to try and drop like specific parts of it. Well, then we'll just drown you in the emails. And then you guys have to figure out what's in it and what's not in it. And at that point, it's almost like it does look fishy. I mean, a lot of the stuff looks fishy, for real.
says that
And with like Bill Clinton, Prince Andrews, like all these people, like it's like, why are you guys even doing any of the stuff you guys are doing?
Clarified that Bubba does not refer to Bill Clinton, but he doesn't refer to whether or not Bubba is even a real person, or he doesn't try to deny the fact that Bubba is a real person. So U.S. media from all political corners are frantically trying to avoid this particular Epstein email, and it's showing the one that I shared. If Mark Epstein asked his brother Jeffrey Epstein whether Steve Bannon could confirm if Putin has the photos of Trump blowing Bubba, Jeffrey Epstein, I thought I had Soros, using the Yiddish term for troubles. That's what we previously spoke about. Please be true, please be true, please be true. That's just, trying to be humorous. Somebody quote tweets what I wrote and says, not the jobs report,
Please be true. That's some lefties
report we were expecting. I did not wake up to this information. Somebody just using like a funny video here. I think Bill Clinton's name was Bubba. Oh my God, this is wild. MAGA's not going to like this. And it goes on, and then somebody shared.
Yeah, like they're like doing like lots and lots of like hardcore, like making hella videos, like trying to like, well, because you got to grab onto something, which people have had like the photos for a long time of Trump hanging out with Epstein. So it's not like anything new that,
Actually, this photo here of Trump and Bill Clinton. Honestly, though, there's so much speculation about all of this. I just think that Mark Epstein could have
like the picture of him like reaching over and over by where. I don't know why Trump was doing what he was doing. I really feel like at the time I bet money he never thought that he was going to be running for president or doing any of that. So I think that he was probably just living as a rich businessman doing what he wanted to do. I mean, that's just what happens in America. Not saying that if he did do the stuff that he did with Epstein, then it's not right at all,
easily cleared all of the speculation if the guy just went out publicly and said, this was all just, inside joke between me and my brother. It's weird. But then again, who's to trust in Epstein at all? Even if he did.
True ass point. either way. Even anything that Epstein said, you can't trust it because he's a liar anyways, and he was deceiving shit to make money and shit. Like,
come forward and say anything. Why
he's literally blackmailing people and up to like pedophilia shit. Like, you can't trust anything that they're saying.
should I have any sort of any sort of belief or credibility towards Mark Epstein? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Not in the slightest bit. So it was Hubba Bubba. He
He's
was
got a
blowing
point there.
bubblegum. Somebody's saying that here in the comments, which maybe he was blowing bubblegum. In which case, if that was truly the thing, then why would he
Oh, maybe like talking about discussions with Putin, maybe.
why would he care if Putin has photos of Trump blowing bubblegum? If he knows it's not him, then he knows who it is. That's a good way to put it. That's what I think too. If it was just
Oh, definitely. If it was not Bill Clinton, and then Mark Epstein knows exactly who it is.
if it was just inside banter, then he could have said it. Otherwise, does it actually reference somebody? So crazy things. Honestly, not the first thing I thought of when we saw these Epstein files. And again, this could all just be make up BS. But regardless, it's definitely gaining millions and millions of interactions on social media with it, and people are questioning. And this is what I'll say. Okay, this is the tip, the very very tip. Not even the tip. It's like a speckle of dust on the iceberg of
He's so true to that. Like, it's just a speckle of dust on the top of the iceberg, but and then at the same time of saying that, like, I feel like it's also stuff that's like pretty deep because I mean, we already knew a lot of stuff, so it's just crazier to know even more stuff, and now we're learning more stuff, and if they release more stuff, we're gonna know even more stuff, which just wait till it starts turning into people that it's on both sides, and you're like, whoa, like this whole thing has been a disgusting like pariah that they've been doing for a long
Epstein
time.
saga. Because the truth of the matter is, everything we want to know about Epstein, everything that we do know already about Epstein, that the mainstream media is closing a blind eye to. They refuse to report on, of course, Epstein's links to Israeli intelligence. Not once yet have I heard CNN and Fox even try to inch towards mentioning a headline like that. They refuse, especially not Fox and the Rupert Murdoch empire. The truth of the matter is that's what the deeper story is here. And until that is addressed, then we're not even tiptoeing around the breadth of what's really going on with the Epstein files. Now, will it be addressed? Who's to say? I think that personally, we're seeing a huge rift in public discourse towards the United States and Israel relations. That's so obvious. Megyn Kelly said it previously. Nobody under 30 likes Israel. I would definitely agree with that. Now, of course, this is a huge generalization, but the fact of the matter is Gen Z does not like Israel as a whole. That's very true. So we're going to start to see more public discourse.
I mean, to be honest, I don't really care about any other. I mean, don't get me wrong. I just don't care about any other country but our country. Like, we got enough problems here and stuff like that. So when people try to bring up the issue, like we should care about anywhere else around the world at all, but here first, then it's like they totally miss me because I'm like, we have people here who are, going through stuff and don't have the means and need help and sleeping on the streets and addicted and everything else. But no, we'll send some condoms to Arabia, or no, we'll send trombones to Russia, or we'll send nuclear bombs to North Korea, or, any other good ones. I'm just being facetious, but I mean, for real, it's just wild.
No matter how much Larry Ellison tries to buy TikTok, and his son David Ellison goes ahead and buys all the studios, CNN, Paramount. No matter how much they try to control the mainstream media, people are going to question things, and it's only going to actually incite more questioning and more criticism of U.S.-Israel relations. So somebody else just commented here, Epstein was by when he asked what his relationship was with Trump. His reaction told me all I needed to know. And
that's
Bubba
what
is
I was
Clinton,
thinking in
YZ.
my head, is if Bubba is Epstein himself, does Putin have a picture of Trump blowing Bubba? So, and it's Mark talking to Epstein, correct? Right? So, and wouldn't his Bubba would be Jeffrey Epstein? And that's the conclusion I came to, is that does Putin have the photo of Trump blowing Epstein? And that's like the thing that I was thinking in my head when I heard it. But then they were like throwing this whole thing like, oh, Bill Clinton means Bubba and all this. But I really think it's like a joke, because I think that maybe Trump maybe blew Jeffrey Epstein. I don't know. And like I said, this is all like just my own perspective on what I read and what I've seen. And like I said, I do not think that Trump is gay by any means. But if he did happen to blow somebody, then he would be gay. But I don't know. I was just trying to read a different angle. You get me? So let's continue.
Believes. Personally, I think Mark Epstein saying he's not. I don't think the chances of Epstein and his brother referring to somebody named Bubba could be anybody other than Bill Clinton if Bubba was actually an individual. Okay, but Epstein's
I think Bubba was Jeffrey Epstein.
relationship with Bill Clinton's like this.
And that's why, because the photo that was taken of Putin and Trump was around the time that email thread was made. And I think that, does Putin have the photo of Trump blowing Bubba, which is I think it's like a joke, and that's why he was saying like the Get Hard line, like the movie Get Hard, or but like also a euphemism or a play on words to be like blowing or hard. So
That Epstein visited Bill Clinton during his presidency 17 times within 2 years. 17 times.
And it's like, we as Americans don't usually see what happens behind the scenes with these presidents when no one's looking.
Okay, it's not
And
a little.
Bill Clinton already was doing crazy stuff with, Monica Lewinsky. I seen something where it said Donna Lewinsky. I thought it was pretty funny, but also at the same time, like, I mean, I like Trump, and I really, at the end of the day, really don't think that he didn't. I don't think he would do anything like that. I just don't. Just don't. I really, truly think that, like, yeah, he might have got wrapped up or, like, in the, with Epstein or whatever, not with the children, but, like, with how he was doing with a lot of celebrities, like, trying to, like, get them on his side by trying to basically pull like a favors game to get him to blackmail him, but I don't know.
That's not a little bit. That's a lot of times. So this is sort of the relationship that they have together. Now you're telling me that with that sort of relationship, he's going to be referencing anybody else when they refer to Bubba. If that's Bill Clinton's nickname, they're going to be using. They somehow know that they're referring to two different people named Bubba. Give me a break. Genuinely, just stop with this. So whether or not it's true, who's to say? But we'll see how things unfold moving forward. If you found this video interesting, make sure to go ahead and click the subscribe button below. I'd really appreciate the support and give it a thumbs.
Yeah, make sure you guys subscribe, like, I think it's Wally Rashad is this guy's video. Yeah, Wally Rashad, and throw him a like, throw him a subscribe, and it's been another one. Thank you guys for tuning in, and boom, wop, bing, bop, bing, bop, bam. Hey, you guys have a good night.